Imagine stepping onto a ship, knowing you will never see your home again. No trial, no mercy, only chains, darkness, and the possibility that the ocean beneath you might become your grave. This wasn't a scene from a nightmare. This was real life for over 12 million Africans between 1525 and 1866. And what happened on those ships is something the world was never meant to witness. From the moment European merchants realized how much profit they could squeeze from human lives, the Atlantic became a highway of terror. By the early 1700s, they engineered ships built for one purpose: to transport as many enslaved people as possible, no matter the cost. Extra portholes for air, weapons mounted for fear of rebellion, compartments carved into every empty space, turning ships into floating prisons. Before boarding, Africans were stripped, not only of their clothing but of their identity. Their hair shaved, their names erased, their lives reduced to cargo. Boarding didn't happen in hours. It could take weeks, even months. Hundreds of people forced to wait in makeshift wooden structures on deck, surrounded by netting. Nets designed to catch anyone who chose death over slavery. But once they were forced below deck, the true horror began. Ceilings barely 4.5 feet high. People squeezed side by side, shackled, unable to sit upright. Men locked together in pairs. Women placed separately, often unchained, but never safe. Children wandering, frightened in the suffocating dark. There were no toilets. Human waste flooded the cramped compartments, mixing with sweat and vomit and suffocating heat. Disease didn't just spread, it exploded. Dysentery, smallpox, yellow fever, malaria. The ship became an ecosystem of death. For a few hours each day, the enslaved were forced above deck, separated again by gender with a fortified barrier called a barricado. These walls protected the crew, not the captives. Forced exercise followed, often a twisted ritual of dance, song, and movement to keep their bodies alive long enough to be sold. The crew found entertainment in their suffering. Resistance brought torture. The cat-o'-nine-tails, leather straps tipped with metal or bone, tore through skin like claws. Those who refused to eat were force-fed with an iron device called the speculum oris, prying jaws open like an animal. Women, though unchained, endured assaults that words can barely describe. Many reached the New World carrying the children of the men who violated them. Yet even in the darkness, sparks of rebellion lived. Women, using what little movement they had, whispered plans, coordinated uprisings, waited for moments of weakness among the crew. But most revolts ended in brutal repression. Still, none of these horrors prepared the world for what happened aboard one ship, the Zong. In August 1781, the slave ship Zong left modern-day Ghana with 442 enslaved people trapped inside. Navigation mistakes stretched a normal journey into months. Disease exploded, water ran low. Already, 62 enslaved people and 7 crew had died. Captain Luke Collingwood feared one thing above all: losing money. Because in the cold logic of the slave trade, people who died of disease were a financial loss. But those who drowned, insurance would pay for them. So he made a decision that still shakes history. He ordered about 130 enslaved people thrown alive into the ocean. Not to save the ship, not to save lives, but to save profits. When the ship reached Britain, the owners sued the insurance company, claiming they had the right to kill the enslaved the same way a farmer kills sick livestock. Astonishingly, the court agreed, but the trial exposed the truth of the Middle Passage to the world. British abolitionists published the story, removing the ship's name because they wanted people to understand. This wasn't the story of one ship. It was the story of all of them. 24 years after the Zong trial, the international slave trade was outlawed by Britain and the United States. But ending slavery itself took decades more. For Britain, 26 more years. For the United States, 58 years and a civil war. Millions suffered across generations, but their stories of survival, resistance, and unimaginable strength, refused to disappear. Because history isn't just dates, it's memory. And some memories must never be forgotten.